You might have come across some of these names on the internet, and I want you to think, what do they have in common? PewDiePie, Hajime Sacho, BottomTube, Badabun. Have you guessed it yet? They are the world's most popular YouTubers. Now here's the real skill testing question. I just used a phrasal verb in my intro. What was it? Hi, I'm Dora, and welcome to a new and exciting episode of Bite Size English, your daily bite of English. In this episode, we are answering your request, and we'll be looking at some phrasal verbs. Make sure you watch Phrasal Verbs for YouTube Part 2, as this episode will only look at 5 out of the 10 phrasal verbs introduced. Visit our website, bitesizeenglish.com, for a worksheet on this episode, which will help you review these phrasal verbs in more detail. Phrasal verbs are multi-word verbs. They are a combination of a verb with a preposition. For example, in my intro, what was the phrasal verb I used? It was to come across. When looking up a phrasal verb in a dictionary, you must look for the verb and the preposition together in order to find a correct meaning. And then double check on the context to ensure you found the right one. Looking up the verb to come separate from the word across won't give you a proper meaning. And when you do find to come across in a dictionary, you're given 2 common definitions. Which one of these do you think is the correct one for how I used it in my sentence? It's definition 1. For any native English speaker, we use phrasal verbs in both formal and informal contexts. Many English language learners find them difficult to learn because the same phrasal verb can have multiple definitions, and it's hard to remember which preposition follows which verb. Oh yeah, and one more fun thing about them. Some are separable and some are not. For today's episode, all the phrasal verbs are inseparable. This means that the verb and the preposition must stay together to have the correct meaning. Let's see if you can listen for the phrasal verbs I use in the next 30 seconds. A lot of these YouTuber careers take off with salaries in the millions because they stand out from the rest. They post new episodes regularly, sometimes on a daily basis. As more and more viewers log on to YouTube just to keep up with their favorite YouTubers' episodes, the big companies eventually catch on and take advantage of a YouTuber's ever-growing viewership through advertisements. These YouTubers build up their fan base sometimes by calling attention to anything from social issues to new products which viewers are dying to know if they're really any good. YouTubers can play up these products just by opening them, letting viewers get a detailed look, and actively using them on videos. So long as they avoid doing anything controversial or insensitive, they can avoid having their videos taken down by YouTube. A common element of these famous YouTuber channels is humor. As word about the entertainment value of these videos spread around, someone's YouTube fame can blow up overnight. Now, instead of being a famous athlete, singer, or actor, being a famous YouTuber is an aspiration that many children in North America desire. What about in your country? Is it that easy to become a famous YouTuber? Now replay this part of the video and count how many phrasal verbs I said, and what were they? Did you hear these 10 phrasal verbs? This phrasal verb has at least 10 different meanings. But let's find that sentence. Ah, there it is. Let's ask ourselves, are their careers getting better or worse? Right, getting better, because they earn a lot of money. So when we talk about careers, fame, or even a business taking off, it means that there was an increase in popularity and activity, and it happened very quickly. I hope learning more English vocabulary helps your popularity take off. When someone or something stands out, you notice them immediately. They're different from everyone or everything else. When you tell someone that they stand out, you mean that they are better than the rest in some way. Unless you're this guy. I think the majority of the world do this daily. When you turn on your device or computer and you're asked for your username and password, you're logging on. When fans are keeping up with their YouTube idols, what would you say they know about them? Would you say that they are aware of their YouTuber's latest episode? They learn about their idol's latest news? Yes, they would. I hope we have fans out there who are keeping up with our YouTube channel's episodes. Before we started this YouTube channel, I was new to video making and even social media. Now I've caught on and I'm getting better at making posts and short videos. So my understanding of how things work is getting better, and as I do more Instagramming, Facebooking, and YouTubing, I'm catching on how it all works. Let's see if you're catching on, because it's test time. Let's review the first 5 phrasal verbs of this episode. When we do this, we are A, catching on, B, logging on, C, forgetting our password. Yes, it's B. Too easy. Which phrasal verb would you use to describe this? The panda looks A, like he's taking off, B, like he's keeping up with everyone, C, like he stands out in a crowd. I hope you said C. What about when you watch our YouTube channel Bite Size English every week, twice a week, you are A, loyal fan, B, keeping up with us, C, you're doing the smart thing. It's B, and of course, you are A and C as well. To learn the next 5 phrasal verbs introduced in this episode, watch Phrasal Verbs for YouTube Part 2. Are you ready for that tip? So, how can you practice your knowledge of phrasal verbs? One way is to play a little game with yourself. When you're waiting for the bus or walking to the store, choose a preposition and see how many phrasal verbs you know well that use that preposition. Count how many you named. When you get home, look up a few more in a phrasal verb dictionary and see if you can remember them the next time you play that game. That's all for today. Visit our website for a worksheet related to this episode. Until then, thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, send us your comments and questions. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. See you next time.